Good morning, everyone. I am G. Madhusagar Babu, Senior Assistant Professor from Triple E Department, Srivastava Engineering College, Tadapalligudem. Today, I am going to discuss about measuring instruments, a topic in BEEE course. What is measuring instrument? The instrument which measures the magnitude of quantities is known as measuring instrument. So, quantities means nothing but electrical quantities. Quantities means electrical quantities like current, voltage, power. So current, voltage, power, etc. Okay. The name of the instrument which measures the current is known as ammeter. The name of the instrument which measures voltage is called voltmeter. The instrument which measures power is called wattmeter. Okay, so these are the some of the instruments which measures electrical quantities. Then what is the purpose? Purpose of measuring instruments. Electrical energy is the primary requirement for the people around the world because almost all machines requires electrical power to operate them. So electrical power is the main requirement. So in order to that, we have to find or we have to show the readings or values of the electrical quantities because we should operate the electrical machines with appropriate and efficient manner. That means if we, by measuring the voltage, current and power at a particular instant, we can learn the behavior and operation of the electrical machines or any other machines, and also the limitations, that is the operating voltage, the operating current, and what is the maximum under rated current, and what is the maximum voltage that the machine withstand. So these are all the main things we have to examine every time. So for that we need measuring instruments. Okay. Now coming to types of measuring instruments. Basically there are two types: analog instruments and digital instruments. Okay, so analog instruments uses a calibrated scale and a pointer which measures the readings 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. So whenever the supply is connected to the instrument, then the pointer moves on the scale to represent the accurate value. Okay, so whereas digital instruments directly shows the reading in numerical value. So directly shows 4.5 amperes, 3.2 amperes like that. Digital instruments will give the output directly in a numerical value. Okay. So now coming to types, classification of analog instruments. Basically analog instruments, in this analog instruments we have three types of instruments. One is indicating instrument, second one is recording instrument, third one is integrating instruments. Okay. So now our topic is indicating instruments. Indicating instruments. So let us see the practical ammeter. Ammeter is an instrument which measures the current. Okay. So let us consider a practical ammeter. So this is the top view of the ammeter. Okay. So in this ammeter only we can see a calibrated scale, nothing but here we have a reading 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means the range of this ammeter is 0 to 5 amperes range ammeter. That means this instrument measures the current up to 5 amperes only. If we want to measure 10 amperes or 8 amperes, then we need to take 0 to 10 amperes range ammeter. Okay, so this is the practical ammeter. So in this we have a graduated scale and we have a pointer. Okay, so this is pointer. Okay, so whenever this ammeter is connected in a circuit, then a current, a supply current will be flowing through the ammeter. Okay, this is the practical ammeter. Okay, so whenever we are switching on the supply, then a supply current will be flowing through the ammeter. Then only the pointer moves on the scale and represents the accurate value. For example, the current flowing through the circuit is 4 amperes, then the pointer shows 4 amperes reading. That means the pointer stops at 4th reading, 4. Okay, so therefore the indicating instruments indicates the instantaneous value of the current in a circuit. That means whenever the switch is off, the switch is turned off, whenever the switch is off, then the current will be 0. The current in the circuit will be 0. So the 0 current will be flowing through the ammeter. So immediately the pointer moves to its original position, that is nothing but 0 position. So pointer moves from 4 amperes reading to 0 amperes reading. Okay, so this is called indicating instruments. So indicating instruments are the instruments which measures the electrical quantity instantaneously whenever it is connected in a circuit. Okay, so these are the indicating instruments. So this is the practical ammeter diagram. Now we should go to original type. So indicate in this indicating instruments, the first one is PMMC instrument. PMMC instrument. That means PMMC means permanent magnet moving coil instrument. Okay, in this instrument the construction consists of permanent magnets. So permanent magnets and a moving coil. Okay, that's why this is named as permanent magnet moving coil instrument. Basically indicating instruments requires 3 systems mainly. So basic requirements to construct an indicating instrument are: first one is deflecting system. That means, so whenever a 4 amperes current is flowing through the instrument, then the pointer should move on the scale to represent the 4 amperes, right? So a deflecting force or deflecting torque will be should be exerted on the pointer, right? So whenever a force will be exerted on a pointer, then only the pointer moves on the scale, right? So for that reason we need deflecting system. So deflecting system produces deflecting torque. Okay, so deflecting torque causes the movement of pointer on the scale. That means this force, that means this torque produces force on the moving system as well as pointer of the instrument to move from its 0 position. Okay, to move from its 0 position. So the pointer is initially at 0 position. Whenever the supply is switched on, then only the pointer starts moving on the scale to represent the accurate value. Okay, so we need, first one is deflecting torque. So for that we need a deflecting system. Okay, and second one, controlling system. So controlling system produces controlling torque. So what is controlling torque? So whenever a deflecting torque is exerted on the pointer moves on the scale, but it should stop at final value. That means final value. So here what is the current value? It is 4 amperes, right? So the pointer should stop at 4 amperes reading. That means here. So the pointer should stop at 4 amperes reading, right? Not more than that. So here we have a maximum value 5 amperes. So whenever deflecting torque is developed and exerted on the pointer starts moving, but it should stop at accurate value, right? So for that we need a controlling system. So this controlling system produces controlling torque. So this controlling torque limits the pointer at its final state. That means it stops the pointer at the final state, where here in the example 4 amperes. That means the pointer should stop at 4 amperes reading only, not more than that, not less than that. Okay, for that we need a controlling system. So this controlling system nothing but it is a opposite force. It is a opposite force to deflecting force. Okay, and third one, damping. Third one, damping system. It produces a damping torque. So damping system is required to stop the oscillations made by the pointer at the final position. That means, so whenever deflecting torque is acting on the pointer starts moving on the scale to represent the 4 amperes reading. Next, controlling torque. What is the need of controlling torque? It should stop the pointer at its final position, final state, nothing but 4. If the current is 4 amperes, then the pointer should stop at the 4 amperes reading. Okay, but whenever the pointer stops at the 4 amperes reading, it should not stop at steadily. It makes some oscillations at the final state, because the pointer has some kinetic energy, right? So we need a force or torque to minimize the oscillations made by the pointer at the final position. Clear? So for that we need a damping force or damping torque. So damping torque minimizes the oscillations made by the pointer at its final position. So these three are the basic requirements for the construction of any indicating instrument. Clear? So now we are moving to PMMC instrument. It is also an indicating instrument and analog instrument. So analog instruments means it uses a dial. It uses a dial, nothing but a scale and a pointer. So this is called analog instrument. So PMMC is an analog instrument as well as indicating instrument. So what is PMMC? Permanent magnet moving coil instrument. In this instrument we are using permanent magnets and a moving coil. That means the coil is not stationary in the instrument. Okay, right. So what is the first of all, what is the working operation or working principle? What is the working principle? So what is the working principle of indicating instrument? So indicating instruments are basically works on the principle of D'Arsonval principle. Okay. So D'Arsonval principle, that is nothing but galvanometer principle. That means galvanometer principle, that is the quantity to be measured. For example, say current. Nothing but it represents with I. So current I. So whenever the measured quantity, the measuring quantity is current, then the current magnitude is directly proportional to the force. That means the force exerted on the pointer of the instrument depends on the magnitude of current. So if the magnitude of current is 1 ampere or 1 to 4 amperes, for example 1 to 4 amperes, then the force also increases on the pointer. That means if to represent 1 ampere, the pointer requires less force. But if we measure 4 amperes, then the force exerted on the pointer should be more. Then only the pointer reaches 4 amperes reading. Okay. So D'Arsonval principle is the force exerted on the pointer is directly proportional to magnitude of electrical quantity, whether it is current, voltage or active power, anything. Okay, right. So this is the working principle for the indicating instruments, all the indicating instruments. So now for the permanent magnet moving coil, we need three systems, right? One is deflecting system, second one is controlling system, third one is damping system, right? So in the PMMC, we are using electromagnetic system for the deflecting system. Okay, electromagnetic system is nothing but similar to DC motor system. DC motor system, because in the DC motor also we are using magnets, right? Magnets. Inside the magnetic field we have a coil. Inside the magnetic field we have a coil, right? So here also we need deflecting system is similar to DC motor system. Okay, permanent magnet. So these are the permanent magnet. This is permanent magnet. Okay. So permanent magnets are continuously producing the magnetic flux lines inside the instrument, right? So permanent magnets. Then we need a coil, right? Moving coil. We need a coil. For that, first of all, we need a aluminum former. Whether it is a rectangular shape or some other shape. Okay. So inside this we need an iron core. We are placing iron core in between the aluminum former. Okay. Now the coil is wound. Now the coil will be wounded on the aluminum former. So whether it is okay. So the moving coil or copper coil, the material is copper. So copper coil is wounded on the aluminum former. So this aluminum former is directly connected to a spindle. Okay. So here we are using an electromagnetic system as deflecting system. Electromagnetic system for deflecting torque production. Okay. So for this electromagnetic system we need permanent magnet and then an aluminum former. Inside that we are placing iron core and a copper wire, a copper winding is wounded on the aluminum former. So which carries the current which has to be measured. Okay. So for this aluminum former is connected to a spindle. This spindle is supported by a jewel bearings at the both ends. Okay. Now the spindle is rotating freely and also the coil inside the instrument also free to rotate in between the permanent magnet. Okay. So this is the structure for electromagnetic system. Okay. So what is the working operation? It is similar to DC motor, right? So the permanent magnet moving coil instrument working principle depends on the DC motor principle. That is, when a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a force or torque. So this is the working principle for the PMMC instrument. So whenever the current is flowing through the winding, and it is placed inside the magnetic field, because permanent magnets are continuously producing magnetic flux inside the instrument. So whenever the current carrying conductor are nothing but coil placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a force. Whether it is anti-clockwise or in the clockwise direction. Okay. So whenever a current carrying moving coil is placed inside the magnetic field lines, then it experiences a force, depends on the interaction of the fluxes. Okay. Right. So here we have a main pole flux, poles, north pole and south pole, right? Main pole flux, and here we have a current carrying conductor. So whenever a current is flowing through the conductor, then, so this is main pole flux, first one. Whenever the current is flowing through the moving coil, then it produces another flux, nothing but this is coil flux. Okay. So due to the interaction between this main flux means main pole flux, and the coil flux, which is produced by the magnitude of the current, which has to be measured. Okay. So the interaction between this main pole flux and coil flux, then the coil will be moving or rotating inside the instrument. Hence, it is a moving coil. Okay. So here we are using permanent magnets and a moving coil. The coil is moving inside the instrument. So that's also this is also a permanent magnet moving coil instrument. Clear? So this is the deflecting system. Okay. Electromagnetic system. In the PMMC instrument, we are using electromagnetic system as a deflecting system. So whenever the conductor is placed inside the magnetic field lines, I mean a current carrying conductor is placed in the magnetic field, it experiences a force. Then the coil will be moving or rotating inside the instrument. Clear? Right. So whenever the coil is rotating or moving inside the instrument, the spindle connected to the aluminum former or coil also rotates, right? So the spindle also rotates inside the instrument. Now we want to represent the measured value on the scale, right? We want to represent the measured value on the scale. So for that we are attaching a lightweight pointer, it is a lightweight material, a pointer on the scale, So for example, this is zero reading, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So whenever the current is flowing through the coil, then according to the principle, the coil will be moving inside the instrument. Then the spindle, which is connected to the aluminum former, is also rotating 360 degrees rotating. Then the pointer attached to the spindle, then the pointer attached, so this is called pointer. The pointer attached to the spindle also moves on the scale. Okay. Whenever the spindle is rotating, then the pointer also moves on the scale to represent the value. If the current magnitude is 4 amperes, then the pointer moves from its zero position to 4 amperes reading. Okay. So in this way, the PMMC instrument produces deflecting torque on the pointer. Clear? So this is the deflecting system. In this system, we have a permanent magnet and a coil, copper coil, and the input is current. So whenever the current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a force. That means the force will be exerted on the moving coil. Then coil will be moving inside the instrument. Clear? Right. So second one. Now coming to second system. What is the second system? Second system will be controlling system, right? First one is deflecting system, and second one is controlling system. Here we are using control springs. Phosphor bronze. The material is phosphor bronze material. So the springs. So by using two springs, we can create controlling torque. That means an opposite force to the deflecting torque. So what is the need of controlling system or controlling torque? What is the need of controlling torque? to stop the pointer at the final position, not more than that, not less than that, right? So for that we are using control springs. So control spring means spring is like this, spiral spring. Okay, so this is the spring. So this spring is connected, one end of the spring is connected to the spindle and another end is connected to the fixed point or fixed material inside the instrument. Okay, so here we are using two springs. So one spring is at the bottom of the coil. Okay, so one end is permanently connected to the fixed point inside the instrument and one end is connected to the spindle. Clear? So one end is connected to the spindle, another end is connected to the fixed point inside the instrument. Similarly, in the second spring also connected to the top of the coil. Here also we need a fixed point. Okay, here we are using two control springs, first spring and second spring. So the current, the circuit current is flowing through this spring and to the coil and leaves out. Okay na? Okay, so the coil, the current to be measured is entering through the spring to coil and to second spring to the next wire or load wire. Clear? So these springs will produce controlling torque. So how these springs will produce controlling torque? Right. So whenever the coil is moving inside the instrument to represent the value, okay, this spring also gets stretched. That means this spring is under tension. Whenever the spindle is rotating, the spring is under tension. That means it creates an opposite force on the spindle, right? So whenever the deflecting torque and controlling torque both are equal, then only the pointer stops at its final position. Clear? So deflecting torque moves the pointer, but controlling torque stops the pointer at the final position, that is 4 amperes. If the current is 4 amperes, then the pointer will be stopped at the 4 amperes position. That position is nothing but at steady state position, that is whenever TD is equal to TC or TC equal to TD, then this state will be obtained. Then only the pointer stops at 4 amperes reading. Clear? Okay, so controlling torque is produced by the control springs, spiral springs. The material for the spring is phosphor bronze. Clear? And the moving coil material, it is made up of copper. Material. And we have an iron core. It is made up of iron, cast iron. Clear? And pointer also made up of a lightweight material. Clear? Okay. And first one is deflecting system, and second one is controlling system, and now third one is damping system. That means this system produces a force or torque which reduces the dampings. Okay, that means the oscillations, which reduces the oscillations in the system. Okay, the oscillations made by the pointer should be minimized. Then only the pointer sharply represents the 4 amperes. Otherwise, it will oscillate at the final position. That means 3.8 to 4 to 4.2. 3.8 amperes to 4.2 amperes. So it made some oscillations. So what is the correct value? We need to find out the correct value. For that we need a damping system. So this system produces a force or torque to stop the oscillations made by the pointer at the final position. So in this damping system we have basically three types. One is eddy current damping, and second one is air friction damping. Third one is fluid friction damping. Okay, so these are the types of damping systems: eddy current damping system, air friction damping system, fluid friction damping system. Clear? So we, in this PMMC instrument, we are using eddy current damping system. So what are the eddy currents? So the currents produced by the electromagnetic system on the disc, on the material. That means here we are using deflecting system, right? So in this, moving coil is wounded on the aluminum former, right? This is the aluminum former. So this is the aluminum former, okay? So this aluminum former is also placed inside the magnetic field lines, right? So whenever the moving system is moving or rotating inside the instrument, the aluminum former attached to the spindle is also moves inside the instrument, right? So this magnetic flux lines produced by the permanent magnets not only cuts the moving coil conductor, but also it cuts the or links with the aluminum former also. Aluminum is a conducting material. So whenever the permanent magnetic flux lines are linking with the aluminum former or material, then according to Faraday's law, a small EMFs will be induced on the aluminum former or aluminum material. For example, take some aluminum plate. Okay, so here, so this is entirely aluminum plate, for example. So here, these are the permanent magnets. So whenever the flux lines are linking with the aluminum plate, then a small EMFs also produced inside the aluminum material. Okay, so these EMFs will produces some small currents. These currents are called eddy currents. Okay, that means the currents produced on the material, on the aluminum plate, aluminum former, are called eddy currents. That means those are not a working currents. Okay, these are not working currents. So these currents are called eddy currents. Clear? So the electrons flow on the plate, on the material, are called eddy currents, not actual current. Okay, here we are utilizing these eddy currents direction. Okay, so according to Faraday's law, EMFs are produced on the aluminum disc, and small currents are flowing on the plate, aluminum plate, right? So these eddy currents direction will be exactly opposite to the movement. According to Lenz's law, the direction of induced current, which opposes the very cause to producing it, right? So eddy currents are produced due to the EMFs, right? These currents are produced from EMF generated or EMF produced inside the plate. These EMFs are produced due to the relative speed. Relative speed means movement of the moving coil, movement of the moving system. So whenever the moving system is moving, then only according to Faraday's law, the flux lines cuts the aluminum plate, then small EMFs are produced and small currents are flowing inside the plate or material, right? So the direction of eddy currents opposes the speed of the or movement of the moving coil. That means a force is an opposite force or opposite torque is developed on the aluminum disc. Therefore, this opposite force opposes the oscillations made by the pointer. Clear? So at final position, the pointer makes some oscillations due to kinetic energy of the pointer. So whenever the opposite force is developed on the moving system, the spindle also stops sharply at the 4 amperes force. Therefore, the pointer moves from zero reading to 4 amperes reading gradually and then stops sharply at the final position, that is 4 amperes reading position. Clear? So due to the deflecting system, the pointer moves from 0 to 4 amperes. Due to the controlling system, the pointer stops at the 4 amperes position, and due to the damping system, the oscillations made by the pointer also reduced due to the damping force, deflecting force, controlling force and damping force. These three are the basic requirements for the constructing any indicating instrument. Clear? So what are the applications of PMMC instrument? Clear? Now, first of all, overview. So in the PMMC instrument, we are using electromagnetic system for the deflecting torque and control springs. We are using control springs for controlling torque, and we are using eddy current damping. Eddy current damping system for damping torque. Okay, so these three systems will indicate exact and accurate value on the meter. Okay, so what are those meters? Nothing but applications. Applications nothing but DC ammeter used as a DC voltmeter, etc. Okay, why DC ammeter and why DC voltmeter? Because this PMMC instrument, permanent magnet moving coil instrument, measures quantities related to the DC direct current quantity. That means direct current or direct current voltage values only. Okay, so why the PMMC instruments are not indicating the AC quantities? So because due to the expression. Okay, due to the expression. For example, expressions. So now deflecting torque expression. So deflecting system is similar to DC motor system, right? We are using permanent magnets, moving coil and a current, input current, right? So depends on that. Permanent magnets produces flux, that means flux density. Okay, so the torque developed, the deflecting torque developed on the pointer or produced exerted on the pointer depends on magnetic flux lines magnitude, right? So that is called flux density B. And also the area of the coil, right? So area of the coil. Okay, and the current magnitude depends on the D'Arsonval principle, galvanometer principle. The force is directly proportional to current flowing through the instrument. So current magnitude also one of the factor. And number of turns N. So the coil number of turns, it has number of turns. So N number of turns. So these are the factors: flux density value, magnitude of flux density, current magnitude, and area of the coil, and number of turns on the aluminum former. So these are the responsible factors. So these are the responsible factors to produce deflecting torque. Okay, so the expression is, so the deflecting torque expression, TD is equal to number of turns N, flux density and current magnitude and area of the coil. So this is the torque expression. TD is equal to NBIA. Okay, number of turns, flux density, magnitude, current magnitude and area of the coil. Clear? So this is equation 1. in this the constant values, that means number of turns are constant. Once we are wounding on the Albion formula, it is fixed, so n will be constant, and flux density, permanent magnets also, the capacity of the permanent magnets also always constant. So number of turns are constant, flux density is constant, and area of the coil also constant. We are not wearing the coil inside the instrument. So these three are the constant values. Therefore, so G into I. So G is the constant which represents the constant values NBA. Okay, number of turns constant, flux density magnitude constant, area of the coil also constant. So G into I. So this is the final expression for deflecting torque. Okay, right. Now controlling torque. Now coming to controlling torque is produced by the control springs, right? So control springs, the physical, the expression from the physics is controlling torque expression is some E, constant E B T cube by 12L into theta. Okay, this is the expression for spring, spiral spring from the physics. So Tc equal to E B T cube by 12L into theta. So E means Young's constant, B means breadth of the coil, T is thickness of the coil, L is the length of the coil, and theta will be the angle of deflection made by the pointer. Clear? So in this also E, B, T, L, these are the constant values. So Tc equal to some constant Ks into theta. So this is equation 3. Clear? So the pointer stops at the final position, at the steady state position, right? So that steady state position will be achieved. Steady state position will be achieved at the condition Tc equal to Td. Whenever the control torque is equal to deflecting torque, then only steady state position will be occurred and pointer stops at the 4 amperes reading, right? So Tc means Ks into theta, that is equal to Td. Td means from the second equation it is G into I. Okay. Therefore, theta equal to G by Ks into I. G is also constant, Ks is also constant. Therefore, the angle of deflection is directly proportional to magnitude of current. Okay. So the pointer movement is directly proportional to the magnitude of the current flowing through the instrument. So here, if we connect this PMMC instrument in AC, supply, then positive peak and negative peak both are there for the AC current. So whenever the positive and negative, if we consider the average value, then what is the average value for AC, pure AC? It is 0, right? So 0 amperes. That means the pointer does not move on the scale to represent the value. That's why this PMMC instrument is only used for DC quantities measurements. So applications are DC ammeter and DC voltage measurements only. I hope you all understood the topic measuring instruments, right? It is a topic in BEEE course. Thank you.